Well, let's move on to the Romney ad. This is an ad put out by the Romney campaign, which claims, this is one you were referring to just a moment ago, President Obama has eliminated the work requirement for people receiving welfare benefits, which was implemented through the landmark Welfare Reform Act, which was passed by Congress back in 1996 and signed into law by then President Clinton. Let's take a look.
In 1996, President Clinton and a bipartisan Congress helped end welfare as we know it by requiring work for welfare. But on July 12th, President Obama quietly announced a plan to gut welfare reform by dropping work requirements. Under Obama's plan, you wouldn't have to work and wouldn't have to train for a job. They just send you your welfare check. And welfare to work goes back to being plain old welfare. Mitt Romney will restore the work requirement because it works.
I'm Mitt Romney, and I approve this message.
Zerlina, I was watching you while the ad was going. You were shaking your head. Of course, this was brought up in the convention where actually former President Clinton actually talked about how the administration was going to grant waivers to states if they could come up with a new formula that was actually forward-thinking, come up with a better strategy. Also, again, the fact checkers say that this is inaccurate and outlandish in its claims, much like the earlier spot we played. So I'd like to give you first crack at this one.
Well, I think that the number one thing we need to focus on is that one thing that you heard in that second ad that you didn't hear in the first was that I'm Mitt Romney and I approve this message. This is an official campaign ad for the Romney campaign, not a super PAC ad. And it is an out-and-out lie. It's not just misleading. It's completely untrue. Not to mention the fact that the welfare to work requirements, the waivers were requested by Republican governors. And he's not taking the work out of welfare. He's not just sending people checks. That is just completely and totally a lie. And so an official Romney campaign ad is a complete lie, and they continue running it, and they continue to defend it, and they continue to spread this message, which I think is just racially coded in many ways anyway.
Okay, let me jump in and let John give it a crack at this.
The Romney campaign would say that actually the president did request all these waivers. They weren't just for Republican governors, and they are weakening the work requirements. That's what the Romney campaign would say. And there is plenty of proof to say that. And the fact of the matter is that this is one of those issues out there. Are you going to try to find a way to make this work better, or are you going to try to scale back the work requirements? And so this is part of the debate. It's a policy debate, and I think it's all fair game.
Let me give Zerlina a chance to respond real quick.
I think that this is the return of the welfare queen. It's like when Newt Gingrich during the primary would call Obama the food stamp president. This is racially coded rhetoric. It's not a policy debate. This is dog whistles, except people can hear them too, like me. And so when you're talking about the work requirements, we're just going to send you the check. That's a direct attack on the president being as the first black president. You wouldn't, and not to mention the fact, like I said before, these waivers were requested by Republican governors, 2 Republican governors. And so the Obama campaign simply granted their request, John, and then were attacked for it.
John, you want to jump in, and then I want to move on.
Well, we have a disagreement. I mean, the Romney campaign stands by the ads. They say that they're accurate, and this is what the debate's all about. I think they're accurate. You know, we can have the debate.
Okay, so we have fact checkers who go out and say that these are outlandish, they're inaccurate. The facts are twisted in a lot of these commercials. I think both of you will agree to that. Should there be some form of accountability and some sort of penalization, if you will? I mean, if you watch a football game in the United States, they throw flags when people do things the wrong way. Should there be some method to really kind of hold these people, their feet to the fire in a way? I'll start with you, John.
Well, there is a method, and that is if it could be proven that the ads are inaccurate or false or lies, you can file a claim with the broadcasters, and they get them to remove the ads. That is the well-known way to do that. Neither the Romney nor Obama campaign.
But isn't the damage already done, though? I mean,
well, if you get the people to pull the ads, the damage is not already done. So you could go through that route if you want to.
But how long a process is it? I mean, it's not like
it can be a fairly quick process. It happens in local races all the time. And I think that both campaigns are careful enough that they don't go, except for maybe Priorities USA, they don't go completely over the top.
Zerlina.
Well, Priorities USA is not the campaign. I mean, that's one of the things that, these 2 ads show is that one is super PACs who are not under the same, I guess, guidelines and standards of a regular campaign, and then the official Romney campaign ad, which has just been proven by fact checker after fact checker, as Mitt Romney likes to say, 4 Pinocchios, right? So this welfare ad not only is offensive, but it's blatantly untrue, and it's from the official campaign.
Zerlina from New York, John from our studio here in Washington, D.C. Thank you both.
Thank you.